Justin Bieber is the white kid that got dropped off at the cookout, and his parents just like never came back to pick him up. And this is why I'm going to speak on not only the importance of the black community, but black subcultures as it comes to art. I made this conversation maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, speaking about how black art is genuinely one of the most healing, loving energies in this experience. And it can create a home for people who have felt ostracized by their own communities or their own cliques because they're different or they do something that is black or melanin adjacent. Now, that either leads to immense isolation because it's rejection from your white peers, and then again, rejection from black people because you're not us, but you're doing what we do, and then again, you're them, but they don't want you because you're doing what we do. And I think that's where so many of these white kids, and especially if they're super successful too, because like very few people are successful and young, like that's why a lot of these guys take drugs. Like even young boy, like again, I'm not going to speak for all of it, but a handful of it for that like super successful, young, like very niche, talented person that exists in a world of your own, and people don't look at you as a human. You're either just like a god or somebody to shit on to them. Like you're not properly accommodated in reality. So you self-medicate to accommodate your lack of accommodations. All right? I hope that makes sense for a lot of you guys. Like, people aren't just taking drugs because they look cool. They're literally living in different circumstances than you. And again, I'm not trying to justify what anybody does. But if you can look at these things from a perspective of trying to understand that this person is trying to heal themselves with what they're doing, and they're not just doing this to look cool, they're not doing this for fun, they're not doing this because they probably do not like themselves a little bit, but they're not doing it with that intention specifically, then it gives us an opportunity to see how we can pivot into either behaviors that can support the life that we want to live and the person that we want to be without hating ourselves to get there, which so many people struggle with on this like self-improvement, self-acceptance journey. They think they have to hate themselves to mold themselves into who they're supposed to be, rather than be with themselves and love themselves into everything they can be, appreciating who they become along that journey. Now, mind you, with that being said, the platform that I'm creating, I told you guys I was creating that platform Tribal. That's still in the works, but I've decided I'm pivoting into more a creator community focused platform. Because where I can't necessarily compete directly head to head with like Meta and whatnot, I realized that I should just give life, like a whole entire ecosystem and economy to creative artists in this digital world. And if we can create an economy, a sustainable economy, and a diversified platform together, dude, the culture is literally ours at the end of the day. But in that, I don't want to toot my own horn too much, because I'll definitely be doing that over the next coming weeks, years probably. We need these subcultures, not only so they can be moderated and held together and cultivated by black people, not just these like viral TikTokers who think, oh, well, I'm a fan of rap, so I should get to be the one that speaks on rap all day. But it's necessary because it creates like an intermediate, I don't know what I'm trying to find a word I'm trying to use. It creates a medium for us to almost filter out, okay, which of these white kids are pursuing the art or pursuing the culture because they genuinely care to submit to and surrender to what the culture is teaching them and can offer them on their artistic journey, and which of these kids is just wearing us and our culture and the things that we care about as a mask so they can, more times than not, do bad shit behind that mask and then say, it was just a phase. I was just acting black. I was just manipulated by the drugs and the gangs and the big booty whip. You know what I'm saying? We need our own gatekeepers of the culture. But not just for the sake of, you're not in this clique, you're not cool enough. To make sure that the people who are engaging in, who are contributing to, who are representing the culture, the subcultures, the communities that create them, are actual viable members And at the least, they give a fuck. Because, again, it's when you have somebody like a Justin Bieber, and I'm going to keep saying this, you know the best way for somebody like that to deal with, the best way for somebody like Justin Bieber to deal with his little N-word controversy? Hanging around a bunch of black people. And watching that video with them. Not because he's going to get beat, but because he needs to see the look of disgust, the look of sadness, the look of pain in a real eyes when we hear those words being used playfully, joking around by people that look like him and his peers. And somebody who's that gifted and talented, if he can feel that and be around that and know that we're not going to let you be that degenerate fuck. We're not going to let you be that badass white kid. We know you have a gift and we respect the gift that you have, and we want to make sure that you can be everything that you can be, especially knowing that you didn't even come from, like, just speaking about Justin now, didn't even come from a strong foundation necessarily, which a lot of us in a black community can resonate with. Not as a means of shame, but as a means of understanding how capable we are in being able to meet these unforeseen or these impossible circumstances. It's having that community love, that support, knowing that, and even, which is hilarious, the thing that the black community has that I don't think the white community has been able to really understand yet is even when we as black people are deemed failures or like social rejects, we still understand the importance of being supported by community, being loved and being cared for just existing. White people literally like put you in a position to where you will get so excommunicated from the family or from the community. And then beyond that, if you're rejected from your family, fuck that. Nobody's going to accept you. You're so isolated that if you aren't just pushed into some internet Nazi cult, you are so like alone that you want to. And if you can't die because like you have fans, you have a family to feed, you just cook yourself on drugs and alcohol until those drugs and alcohol like force you to get sober. And again, I'm saying that healing energy, that loving energy that many of us creative artists, especially I think a lot of these white creative artists that are very talented, very non-traditional, very creative, culturally melanated, a lot of these artists specifically could use, and I'm not saying like use and abuse, I'm saying could benefit from active support in our community. And even better, instead of just having a mainstream black community and then being told you're the hip hop group, you're the rap group, what about black R&B? What about black jazz? What about black EDM? This is why subcultures are important, because it shows that black people do everything. And even better, it shows that everybody does everything. And then we can come together and triangulate our support, or at least we can all submit each other to the culture. We are all just students and servants of the culture. And we are all here going through generations and generations and generations, trying to give each other better steps, better information, more love, more care, more information to uphold the culture and to keep raising the bar for that culture and to keep making sure that we have new life and new souls that can keep on pushing that bar higher and higher and higher. And this can really be a collaborative life experience. The competition can be rooted in knowing that we're doing this to make sure that the culture is up there, not to each other. And we can dig into our depth and put that on the front line, because you know that's what the art needs to tap in with the people. Black people, we need to heal, bro, because the world needs us. As much as they want to act like they hate us, the world needs us, bro. And if we can figure that out and then be that need for the world, we're never going to have to worry again. Because what we can do, what we have the potential to do for these people is so ridiculously insane. I mean, let me not get too into it. We built the pyramids of Giza, and then we build America. With a handful of other people, of course, but remind me what and we also beat American slavery in a foreign land. Remind me what we can't do. Absolutely fucking nothing.